Yo, episode 8, quattro. No, not quattro. That's 4. Quattro times 2. Episode 8, Corona lessons. Didn't record yesterday. I'm back. I got pink eye. Don't ask what I do in my spare time. Tom Bukovac, Corona Lessons Volume 8, Summer Blues. He's playing a Gretsch, an old Gretsch. Remember when I was a couple years ago, maybe like 6 to 8 years ago, my dream guitar was the Gretsch White Falcon. I don't know if Tom has one of those. Never seen him play it at least. I have heard that they're so big that people get shoulder problems because you're reaching over to get it. Yeah. Anyways, let's just jump right in. I don't got much to say today. A little preamble. Summer Blues.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Corona Lessons Volume 8. Oh man, sorry I didn't do one yesterday. I was in a shit mood all day.
Me and Tom both missed yesterday. Look at that. I'm just following his schedule, you know?
God, it was like we had our first day of spring and it's like the first nice weather we've had here in Nashville and it depressed the shit out of me. I don't really like nice weather. I like it when it's cold and gray. That's when I thrive.
I am so unlike Tom. I mean, he lives in Nashville. I live in Toronto, Canada. It's winter right now, and it's depressing as fuck.
I know that's fucking weird, but that's just how I am. So yeah, anybody who's watched any of these videos, you're probably picking up on the thumb thing, right? I use that a lot. This whole wrap the thumb around to play bass notes and stuff while I'm doing other shit with my 4 fingers, right? So I feel like using the thumb frees up all 4 of your other fingers so you can do all kind of crazy stuff while you got a cool bass note going. But you know, when I was a kid,
I know he did not invent it, and I'm every excuse to bring up Mayer, but he is the guy kind of inspired me to play guitar in the first place, and he always uses his thumb. He got it from Stevie, who got it from Hendrix, who probably, I don't know where Hendrix got it from, but yeah, that's something I've always done. It makes so much more sense than that. Just from a wrist position, you don't have to do this, you know?
I remember first learning guitar a million years ago, that was considered improper technique to use the thumb to wrap around, because that's not the classical technique. But one thing that's for damn sure is there's no right way to play guitar. I mean, I was thinking today about how unbelievably vastly different some people's approaches are to a guitar, and in the end it all turns out great. I mean, I was thinking about Tony Iommi, for example, and then I was thinking about Lenny Breau or Thumbs Carlisle and guys like that, just thinking how different could you possibly be as a player, the way you touch the guitar and the way they, their techniques. But it's, in the end, it's all great, man. That's what makes the guitar so cool, in my opinion, is the personal contact that the player has with the instrument. We've all seen how one guy could be playing a guitar through an amp, and then another guy could pick up that exact same guitar on the amp, and it sounds completely different because of the way their hands sound, and that's all. We've all talked.
There's a million examples of this, but the first one that comes to mind is Corey Wong from Wolfpack, and just Corey. He's got his solo stuff too. He interviewed John Mayer, and I think they were both playing at one point. And I can't remember if they switched guitars, but it doesn't even matter. Corey's all about that percussive, fast right hand, funky stuff, right? And John's all the bluesy stuff. And I just remember being the contrast, they both play Strats. That's the same instrument, you know what I mean? Obviously different amp settings and whatnot. But yeah, it's so true, man. Tone's in the fingers. Tone is in the fingers. It's true.
Talk about that. But so anyway, this thumb thing, right? I've been doing this forever. I think I first started doing this, probably about, in my early 20s, because I was trying to find ways in the studio to play acoustic guitar and not make a bunch of finger noise, squeaks. So if you're playing a real simple cowboy chord thing, C, A, then you got to go to the F chord the traditional way. Man, can be very squeaky. Makes a lot of noise on a real sensitive microphone when you try to make that big of a change, right? So I started playing my F chords like this, you know, where I use my thumb to wrap around. And it's a lot, you know, look how much freer it is. That's how it all started. And then it became like a thing. Like I started doing it on everything.
Even the way Tom just plays 4 chords sounds so good. That F to G he just did, so good.
I'm the first guy.
I feel like that's the thing too, is that these guys are in the studio and like, yeah, they play these cool parts and these amazing solos, but like at the core of it, like these guys just need to be able to play a beautiful, simple 4 chord progression sometimes, but they need to do it well. Anyways.
I had to do this. I mean, Hendrix was doing this a long time ago. I do have unusually large hands, you know, and a lot of people say you do that because you got the monkey hands or whatever. But here's the thing: when
you actually don't need that big of hands. Like I don't have big hands by any means, but you can find a way to reach around. You don't really need like the whole thumb there too. Like I know I've seen people go and like sometimes they like hit multiple strings, but you just kind of need like just a little bit. Maybe he'll explain it here.
When you play the bass notes, here's the part of the thumb that you're actually hitting it on. It's not up here. I actually have like a callus like right here because that's the part that hits the strings.
So Tom's hands are definitely bigger than mine, but mine is like, maybe you can see it. It's like right there on the knuckle. It's like, that's where mine is.
Look what it enables, right? I mean, if you're playing a bass note with your thumb, you have all 4 fingers free to do whatever you want.
Oh.
Okay. So like, I use it for like power chords. Like here's a cool power chord, like a G chord. A G chord with no thirds, right? you take like take your thumb on the bass note, 3rd fret, and then root 5th and octave with your ring and little finger, open G string, and then bar the D and the G on the 3rd fret. That chord's movable.
Oh, that's cool. Nice. That sounds sick. That's like a B flat, A sharp kind of thing. That open G sounds so good.
B flat 6, F add 9. So I use that constantly, man. That kind of thing, right? So here's another thing I want to talk about. That'll keep you busy for a while because the hard part about the thumb thing is getting the note to sound in tune, right? You can easily pull these notes sharp if you're hitting them wrong with the thumb. So
one thing Tom is, he mentioned this like, I don't know, within the last couple of months, like in a recent video, but talks about how he was in the studio with young guys, and one problem they always have is that they like grip the guitar so hard and they actually bend the notes. out of tune. Like, right? And I feel like I do the same. And I feel like that's a very experienced musician thing to do, is just to understand that like you can play the note really lightly. And this is a beginner mistake too. People like get really tired and they're gripping the whole time. But I mean, I'm not even a beginner and I still do it. Like you can play a note so lightly. Like I'm hardly even touching that. Oh, you guys know that.
Getting a nice where that in tune, right? It's not easy, but you'll get it. And it's a way better way to play, man. I feel like it's just so much freer because I'm a frustrated piano player, and it allows me to do all the open extended voicings that I always wanted to do. Here's another thing, and then I'll shut the hell up. Okay, so this whole concept of using the pick and the fingers that I do a lot. I use the ring finger on the right hand. I talked about this on 2 episodes ago or whatever. I'll pick a constant drone note on the open string. In this case, it'll be open B, and then I play like a bunch of melodies beneath that, right? It's like an open E, right? Or not open E, but just regular E major, right? Let's check it out.
See, I know how to play an E, but then having to hit that E all the time.
Sound. So then, you know, you could also use the open E on top if you want to do something like this.
Yeah, there's that early Beatles song, Anna, Go to Him. And Anna, you come around me, girl. Won't you see me? Me go with him. But they do the, I think they, oh no, it's like a high E, something like that. Yeah.
You did in any key, like say if you're doing, you were doing like key of B. Cool voicing for a low power chord E with no thirds.
Dude.
I use that all the time. That's up.
Dude, that is insane. He's done this before where he can like bend his finger to cover, in this case, the A and the D, and then B and the thing are open, but then he's hitting another note too, so it's like, but look at that wrist. Ah, just hurts. I'd probably do it like that.
So it's E, open E, borrow the B and the E, 2nd fret. Little finger on the 4th fret of the G string, and then open B. You got it. It's a good rock and roll chord you can use, all right? So yeah, work on that stuff, and I'll see you next time, okay? Thanks, everybody.
Nice. I love how he ends mid-sentence. That's cool. I mean, I knew a lot of that thumb stuff. I mean, obviously there's more to learn always, but I love that one chord. think Tom may have used that on his like debut album somewhere. Plexi Soul. I love that album, by the way. If you haven't heard that, go buy it. Support Tom and listen to it. It's so good. Cool. That was a cool lesson. Thank you guys for sticking around. Also, you can see my recommended here. Mac Miller dropped a new album, Balloonerism. There's one song on there called Funny Papers. No guitar in that song, but it's beautiful. You should check it out. That's all from me. See you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.